Hey YouTubers, welcome back to AZ2 Ozarks. Today's video is going to be working on our new shop. So unfortunately, I didn't get any footage of the build of this shop. And it was actually my father-in-law, Rick, and Keegan who built it. My father-in-law came out from Arizona and he helped build it. And that worked out great, seeing as he had helped us build our old shop back in Arizona. And now we are ready for some concrete. And so Keegan's back here backfilling gravel up against the base. And let's see over here inside so you can see where we're actually doing it. Now, if you're not aware, the cost of concrete has gone up just like everything else. And so what we are doing is the back third of the garage to start with, and we are going to be doing it ourselves with some help from friends. So you can see this area is prepared. What they did is they laid down gravel, they compacted it yesterday, they put down plastic moisture barrier, it's stapled up against the base board, which is treated wood, and then they put down this metal grating. And this is what's used instead of rebar. And so as they begin pouring the concrete, they lift this up so it settles into about the middle of the concrete and helps add structure. So this is about 1,200 square feet that they will be working today. And we have 3 concrete trucks scheduled to come and pour it all. And honestly, we've never done a concrete job this big before. So Rick has, of course, mixed in the wheelbarrow. Small projects, we did do our, mixed a lot of concrete and did some projects at our Arizona homestead, and obviously poured the concrete into the block building that we were building. But this is a big job and we will see how it goes. All right, we hear the concrete truck pulling up the driveway now. Not too bad, only 40 minutes late. Goats are blocking the driveway there, so it looks like the fun is about to begin. All right, we've got a lot of the concrete poured at this point, and now we're coming up to the back edge. So Rick is building the board for the back edge because obviously the concrete truck was driving in and out of that area. So now it will be blocked to hold the concrete in. It's looking like it might be a little bit close with just the 3 trucks. The first 2 trucks had 8 yards each. And now the third truck has 7 yards of concrete. We're hoping this is going to be enough. Rick used the machine to tamp down the back. So that one's looking pretty good to start with. Obviously, there's a lot more working of the concrete that has to be done. Right now, the main thing is making sure that we get it full so that we have enough concrete in there to get it level. And then we'll be able to continue working it for a while yet. It's not a hot day. I think the high today is only supposed to be about 65 degrees, and we're out of the sun, so that gives us a little bit of flexibility in continuing to work the concrete while it's wet without it setting up too quickly for us. For none of us having much experience working concrete, I feel like we're working pretty well as a team. And we're going to keep working this to try and get through it. Now all the concrete is poured, the truck is out of here. Now it is finding the level. They're using the transit. So the way that works is we have the transit set over here, and he has the level set on it using the sliding scale for the edge where he wanted the level to be, and he's testing it in many different places. Out in the middle where we poured a bunch of concrete at the end because we had a low spot is reading a little bit high. And so now it's just getting some level spots and then smoothing it all out. Well, look at that. It is relatively flat and smooth. You can still see there's some lines in it, but that's okay because there is more work to be done on this concrete yet. This was the initial working of it. And then next there is this tool that is a mechanical trowel, and that will be used to help flatten it and smooth it more. This is the next step in smoothing the concrete. Rick has never used a power trowel before, but he also hasn't done a slab this big before. And this apparently is critical in getting it nice and smooth. So while it's still quite wet as it is, it's obviously firm enough for him to stand on, but at the same time it does indent with his footprints. He uses it on a slow speed and the blade's higher, and then as it dries he will continue to do it more, and he will do a higher speed and a lower blade, and this will be what gets a nice finish. Now the concrete has set up enough that Rick is working on the edges. He has run I think 3, maybe 4 passes with the trowel. And so it's starting to set up pretty nicely. But we had our concrete ordered for 11 o'clock this morning. And that was probably the first drop after a commercial drop. And so they didn't have an earlier time for us. But they were then 40 minutes late, so we didn't even start pouring until 11:40. And we finished pouring right about an hour later. But that leaves us working the concrete into the night. And so it's already about 7:45 at night. And these guys have got to keep working the concrete because it's time sensitive and it will set up and it won't wait for us to begin working it again in the morning. So they've got a few more things to keep working on tonight, and then we can see how it's looking tomorrow when we get some daylight, even though there isn't very good daylight in here. Well, if you hesitate to make a video, this is what happens. So it is the next day. The concrete is setting up. You can definitely walk on it. It turned out real nice. Pretty good finish for amateurs. But you can see Rick's already moving in, getting unloaded. But the idea with this concrete in this portion of the garage is so that we are able to empty our storage units and we can get things up on concrete, bring all of his tools and equipment and everything to the homestead. We do intend to concrete the rest. So this was just about 1/3 of the shop. And we do intend to concrete the rest, but we will probably do it in 2 more third sections. And that probably won't happen until spring because we will allow the cattle to eat up this hay over the winter, and then we'll have it cleared out and be able to have access to the rest of the space. But it was hard work, but I was really impressed with everybody helping and getting it done. And I think overall we're really happy with this concrete slab. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to keep following our adventure.